Now, I'm Levis from the Archdiocese of Nairobi. My parish is St. Joseph Mutongoro. My vocation started at 2016, but really it had some roots in my childhood. When I was joining the seminary, my mom shed a tear, and I asked her. She told the masses that had gathered at home for a Thanksgiving Mass for me joining the seminary, that when I was a child, I said that I want to be a priest, and I was very little. Being the only son in the family of only girls, many girls, she never took it as such. She thought just it was mumbling of a little baby. But when I was joining the seminary, she said she wished she knew, because I told her, Mom, you get another son, because as for me, I want to be a priest. But she never took it. So I grew up with that vocation, probably because of the influence of my family member. One of my uncle is a priest. Many of our neighbors are priests. So I grew with that influence. I also loved serving Mass from that young age. So the vocation got lost here and there when I was growing up, especially at high school. And after finishing my KCPE and KCSE examinations, which I really passed very well, and I was called to the Nairobi University, Chiromo, so to say, to become a clinical officer, an option of doing meteorological science. And I was considering the choices, but I found myself stuck. I just wanted to be a priest, but I couldn't say. So one day my dad told me, make a choice. Which course are you going to do? Instead of taking the two choices which I really could have taken, I just found myself telling him, I want to be a priest. He never commented anything. He just kept quiet, and I thought I had pissed him off. My mom comes from Luya, a sides of Kenya, and she's a Luya. My dad is a Kyuk. My mom being a Luya, and her side, they do not even think about it, that the only son who is the protagonist or the one to carry on the generation or her seed would even consider being a celibate. So me being a seminarian, especially from her side, is not easy, because I am to be the next family from her. It was really a journey, a roller coaster, so to say. Here at St. Thomas Aquinas, I love the place because it's the world of theology now. We are no longer in abstract, we are talking about reality, especially when we come to think of St. Thomas Aquinas himself, telling us that graces of God only built through nature. We start from the normal person who I am. I tend to understand myself so much so that I can understand God. I won't jump to understand the reality up there before I understand the self. And that's the beauty of being in St. Thomas Aquinas. Yes, also being in St. Thomas, a course which has really touched me is joining spirituality and psychology. You tend to understand the human personality very well. You tend to understand the disorders of a person. And really, when you learn such courses, they tend to make you understand the person as whole. You don't just bring scripture to a person. You don't just bring spirituality to a person. You understand the person from a psychological point of view, a human point of view, anthropological, so to say. And then when you bring faith to such a person, you understand, why is he behaving like this? Why am I like this? Why don't I like doing this? Yet is the normal. Why? So my difficulties, my disorders, when I approach my spiritual father, I talk to him using the few psychological insights that I have. I understand myself better. And I know, yes, being the only son from a family of many girls, it's not easy, even for me. I'm like, really? I won't have that joy of being called a dad, or I won't have that joy of naming my dad or my mom. I won't have that joy of being part of being called Mpoa, verified. But considering that I'll be called father by many, not just one or two or three, I'll be called by many. I'm encouraged, and I really hope that the good Lord will accomplish the good works that He began, that I serve Him at His altar. I'll be called a father to many Christians, and they, in that respective, call my mom and my dad our grandparents because of me. For me, something really that would touch me if changed is the condition of our rooms, because this seminary, for example, it was built in 1963. So it has almost 60 years. In fact, we are in our jubilee year of Diamond Jubilee, 60 years since its inception. So really, our rooms are not in the best shape that they should. And you see, when they were built, the condition, maybe the climatic condition was different. Because you see, they were built like a block kind of monastery. So now staying in a room that was built with pure blocks, it is really cold. And you find other rooms, many of the rooms are leaking. And you tend to, if you're in such a room, you smell that moisture the whole night. So you see people developing cold now and then, and others even develop chest problems. So we tend to cover ourselves so much. Even in your room, you can't just stay without a jacket or a sweater. I've been a lover of jazz music, and there is one artist I love. He's called Ben King. He sang a song which is called Stand By Me. And this song really, he sings to a lady, but if I put it in my own perspective, I would wish that you stand by me. Because being in the seminary and wanting to be at par with other seminarians from the continent, I really need people to stand by me. Because as Ben King says, that when the night is dark and the land is dark, and the only light that we can have is from the moon, I will not be afraid, because I know you will stand by me. Please stand by me, because we really need to be assisted to grow, to have the facilities to do what we really need to do very well, and most importantly, that we be formed fully. We come out of the seminary fully baked for the good of the society, not only the church. So, those who stand by me, help me do this.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble.